What's up, guys? It's ya boys. We're back and black. That's right. Your boy Chase, he is back.
I'm back for like one episode, and then I'm gonna be gone for another 10, 20, whatever I decide.
Until we track him down and tar and feather him and bring him here against his will.
Yeah, so when we wrangle up a posse.
Right.
No, Chase has been very involved in the Michael Brown rallies, and
those have been over with for how long
now?
No,
he's kept them going. He's the only protester.
Underground shit.
But, yeah, I started posting some stuff about Nike on Facebook, and then, Chase has been very active. He's been Facebook living him burning his Nikes. And so after he's...
Why would I burn them?
No.
Anybody,
no.
To keep them.
Nope. After I posted about it, he showed up at my house. He desecrated my Colin Kaepernick poster and then burned my Nikes as well.
Okay, are you sure you're not talking about yourself right now?
No.
That sounds more like
check the police reports that I filed. You will see the name Chase over and over.
I wonder why.
So yeah, Chase is back. Long story short. And we have some very exciting news. We have uncovered a relic from the past, a holy relic, up there.
Quite literally.
It's up there. The Catholic Church has ordained it. It's up there with the true cross and the blood of Christ, the Ark of the Covenant.
I don't even know what's going on completely. But
Chase is completely in the black about this.
Get ready.
Literally. But a couple episodes ago, I had forgotten about this completely. Steven brought up a chain of texts that I sent him once per day for like a month called the Ebony Goddess.
What?
By pure coincidence, I was looking for like some of my video game character art, and I came across the Ebony Goddess. I had recorded the text down on paper. So you're in for a treat today. I don't remember much of this. I
only remember like little tiny bits.
Yeah,
so this will be a trip back in time for all of us.
It's a trial by fire for us. It's missing chapter 1, but from what I remember, it started off like me trying to really like actually creep you out by like it was like a story of a girl that like killed herself or something, and then it devolved quite rapidly into utter bullshit.
So literally any one of your conversations you ever have.
Yes.
No.
So I thought it'd be fun for us to take turns reading the chapters to this. There's fucking 16 chapters.
Dude, I had no idea there was that much.
Yeah.
This was spaced over like so much time, it just started getting like normal to get these. Like I remember like I'd be sitting at like my parents' house, like getting ready for like a race the next day, and I'd get one of these or something, like.
Yeah, didn't you say that Danielle saw on your phone?
She read one of them, yeah, and she was like, "What is this?"
Oh my god.
Okay,
Dear
so
Lord.
Chapter 2 will begin. The Ebony Goddess rode her Pegasus overhead as the executioner that had an eerie resemblance to Ross from Friends pulled the lever, releasing the blade of the guillotine and severing the head of the girl who hung herself the day before. Chapter 3.
Alright.
The fuck?
The Ebony Goddess laughed hysterically as she swung the severed head of the girl from yesterday that was tied to one end of a lasso. She thoroughly enjoyed herself on the mechanical as Ross's evil twin was totally checking her out. They went back to her apartment and made chili out of the girl's remains after Ross teabagged it thoroughly. Then they spent the rest of the night playing Boggle and watching all 23 seasons of Jag on DVD. Come on. You got it.
Emily doesn't want to taint herself.
Chapter 4.
Her pure soul.
Why am I not surprised that, of all people, you came up with this?
You shouldn't be shocked.
I
This
really
is like,
am not.
what, like freshman year or something?
Mm-hmm.
God.
We weren't fully tainted at this point, but this was the genesis.
The Ebony Goddess cheered after finishing Jag and then threw a sack of babies out the window. Then Barack Obama burst through the door in Megaman costume and sniped Ross's twin. He then T-ovaried his head.
What? T-ovary? T-pig?
No, that's T-ovary.
Yeah,
His
no.
head,
Right.
his headless body while screaming, "My balls in your face." But he wasn't fooling anyone. "Oh yeah," said the goddess. "I was in the mood for some milk chocolate." Then Obama said, "Sorry, I'm gay," and then made out with Krillin from Dragon Ball Z while bouncing on his wife.
Oh my god! Oh my god! This is so fucking good.
What the fuck?
Oh my god.
Exactly.
Oh wait, you didn't finish that sentence. While bouncing on his wife's morbid amount of penis blubber. Oh my god. Okay, chapter 5.
You're a fucked up child.
Kai-Lan. Oh fuck!
Dude, for the good
I forgot about that. Ni Hao Kai-Lan. Okay, so for those that don't know, this is like the Dora the Explorer.
Oh, shit,
equivalent
I remember
of
now, I
Asia.
remember.
Kai-Lan. Ni Hao Kai-Lan.
Kai-Lan.
Yeah, okay, whatever.
Yeah.
I thought it was Kai-Lan.
Yeah, she's like a 5-year-old Asian girl. We'll see how this progresses.
God.
Kai-Lan slowly crossed the bridge to execute the prisoner exchange. She was finally returning to the team of Dante, Kratos, Master Chief Cloud, Van Helsing, Leonidas, Ryu Snake, and Sunshine Bear. Almost there. Bam! She was sniped by the Ebony Goddess. Go hi, Kai-Lan! You teach them how to skate, her grandpa said. Obama, still in the Megaman costume, decapitated him and then proceeded to wear his head as a hat while taking off his pants and ...
This is cringy as fuck.
While taking the grandpa's pants off, crossing swords with him multiple times. violating him extensively, and then spreading the body's butt and pooping out baby carrots and mashed peas into it. He then crucified him for all to see. Keep in mind that he is doing this to the headless corpse of Ni Hao Kai-Lan's grandpa, and then put his own dick in a vice grip, ripped it off, climbed to the top of the cross, and stuck his severed cock ...
Oh my god. Chase is already regretting this.
He's done.
Where the head should be. After thoroughly desecrating the body and inflicting severe rectal trauma upon himself.
Upon himself?
He took out their mace of... The mace of...
Oh no, a thermos of cream.
A thermos of cream corn and chucked it, saying to the horrified resistance team, "Who wants some?" Kratos lunged at him, but Barack drew his blade of Olympus and gravity gun from Half-Life 2 and owned him in a presidential fashion. Then the Ebony Goddess joined the brawl with the first... What the fuck is that? Suji from...
From Advent Children.
Oh my god.
Chapter 8. A cannon in her mouth, the BFG from Doom, and the Oathkeeper and Oblivion Keyblades. ... Oh, and by the way, she has 4 arms and is stupid with sticky grenades. All of a sudden, Kai-Lan's mother came to the scene. "Oh, Kai-Lan, father, I came to fix you there because I had no rights. Oh my god, father, Kai-Lan, who do this to you?" Then she spontaneously combusted. What will come of the Ebony Goddess and our heroes? Tune in tomorrow for a brand new episode of The Ebony Goddess. Epic.
There's a special place in there.
Obama started screaming like he was peeing on a kidney stone. Or going Super Saiyan. Or going Super Saiyan. All of a sudden, he sprouted a new penis. Apparently, Obama is actually from the planet Namek, whose residents can regenerate body parts. He then promptly reached into his pocket and pulled out his Swedish penis guillotine and cut it off. Then he crucified Kratos and stuck his penis where his head should be. 2 hours later, the same fate became of his comrades. Then Obama, ...
Chapter 10. Dressed up like a ghost and burned the crosses. Only Cher Bear remained. The Ebony Goddess went for him, but Obama held her back. "This is my fight," he said. Cher Bear lunged at him with his Buster Sword. Obama opened his mouth, revealing not only an abundance of cum, but also a cannon. How?
Keep in mind, this is a freshman in high school coming up with this shit.
Yep.
Bam, 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 bam. SB dodged it with surprising agility, then spun around. I'm sorry. Your handwriting isn't the best right now.
I know.
Spun around and swung at Obama point blank. Bam! Obama shot his cannon right before his blade made contact. ...
Chapter 11. Cher Bear skidded to a halt and wiped the blood from his mouth. "What are you on?" he asked. "Your mother," Obama responded, bouncing on her big succulent titties, riding her like a proud stallion on acid after coming first place in the Kentucky Derby. "That was you?" screamed Cher Bear. He withdrew his handmade twin pistols and emptied a shitload of bullets on him. Obama just walked towards him calmly, taking in the barrage of bullets. Cher Bear engaged him and decapitated him. ...
Excuse me. Obama's severed head fell to the ground as the epic battle between him and Cher Bear came to a sudden end. Ha ha ha! Obama laughed from the top of the needle of the newly relocated Empire State Building. "How?" asked a despaired Cher Bear. Obama threw himself from the building. Lightning tore across the sky as it started to rain hard. "That was my surrogate," said Obama. "Shit," said SB. He took out a plasmid and injected himself with it. He grew spikes.
He grew spikes.
Chapter 13. On his shoulders and back grew massive muscles. He took out a double-barrel shotgun and blew Obama's nose off.
Just the nose.
Yep.
Obama reached into his nose hole and pulled out a crap load of snot and shoved it up his butthole along with his Nintendo 64, Neo Geo games, and 1980s cell phone. "What?" yelled a disgusted Cher Bear. SB tackled him and literally ripped his heart out. He laughed maniacally. Sad. So did Obama.
Ooh. ... Twisting. Okay, chapter 14.
Yeah.
Okay, so did Obama, who was once again on the Empire State Building. "You've got to be shitting me," said Cher Bear. Obama once had intercourse with Emperor Palpatine from Star Wars, and that gifted him with a free life. Yeah, ... It does make sense. Obama jumped down with his Super Saiyan hair sprouting out of his Megaman helmets. Bam! He landed on SB. They slid near the edge of a conveniently placed cliff. Obama jumped to the side, but SB slid off the edge and hung on with one hand.
Obama slowly approached the edge and stepped on his hands. "Say hi to your friends in hell," he said, as Cher Bear plummeted down below. Obama scowled, ripped his shirt open for no reason, and screamed, "Penis!" "Daddy," said his daughter, who had witnessed the whole thing. Obama picked her up above his head as she screamed, "No, Daddy, no, not again!" He broke her spine over his leg, and then ripped her nipples off and wore them as glasses. What the fuck?
Oh my god! Oh. I was not expecting this.
Chapter 16.
Oh my god.
And
How old was she then?
Child, like 10.
freshman year, she was young as shit.
Oh my god.
And ripped her vagina off and wore it as lips and screamed, "I'm Mr. Potato Head." Then he gave her a facial and threw her off the bluff. Happy Thanksgiving, whore.
Oh my god, dude.
Oh, that was the perfect ending.
Gave her a facial and threw her off the
I'm gonna apologize to Obama if he ever hears this.
Dude.
He is an avid fan of the podcast.
I'm just saying I do not share
Oh
the
my God,
sentiments of
dude.
the man next to me who
That lived up to the hype, I must say.
wrote this fan fiction of you. I don't know.
That's the best part about not remembering specifics.
I know. I had this other story that I found.
Oh God, no.
Me and Blake.
Oh,
And
geez.
this was from, I think, like, intermediate school.
Really?
So, but it reads like that Guy Fieri thing that we read, like, last podcast. Like, you know those memes, Chase, where it's
Yeah,
like,
the robot.
we had a computer watch over 100 episodes of Diners, and Dash or whatever, and it wrote an episode based on that content. That's what it reads like. It's pretty nonsensical. But,
Jesus.
it's titled Mad Car Chase. My trip is about to begin. I'm so excited. Orlando Studios, here I come. My car has already been rented. It is a red Viper. The trip is going to be about 15 hours. My friend Blaine and I were going together. I was innocently driving down the highway, underage of course, when the coppers pulled me over. I rolled down the window and said, "What might be the problem, Ossifer?" "Nothing," the cop said. "Just rush hour." The cop pulled out a taser and shocked me. I screamed as I was shocked by the taser. Blaine took the wheel and lost the fuzz, going 220 miles per hour.
Lost the fuzz.
I woke up. "Hey man," I said, "this is my car. Move it." I pushed Blaine out the window, then backed up and ran over him on accident, in quotes. "Get in the car," I yelled at Blaine. "Make up your mind, you quack," Blaine demanded. "What are you doing?" I pulled out the taser that he stole from the fuzz at the last minute. Zzz, Blaine yelled as I shocked him with a taser. Blaine was still conscious. "Look," I explained, "pedestrians, 20 points each." I was about to hit them when Blaine screamed, "No!" Blaine screamed and turned the wheel, hitting a lamppost. "Yes! 100 points for trashing the car." Blaine and I got out of the car just as it blew up, making a gigantic mushroom cloud caused by nuclear explosions to be seen from miles away. Blaine and I started running around like special eds and yelling, "High score! High score!"
Oh my god.
Imagine
Like
a-
special eds.
Yes.
Did you write this for school?
Yes,
Oh my god.
Imagine a teacher reading this.
You gave this to a teacher?
Yes, I assume. There's no feedback on it.
Oh my God.
Just then, the cop came back with friends. They were in a black minivan. They pulled out a Nerf machine gun and started shooting. We got hit all over with plunger darts. Blaine and I were withering away on the ground. The taste of rubber was in our mouths from being hit with the darts. We didn't think we would make it, but just then paramedics came. We survived, although I don't know how we did. After that, we got a police escort to Orlando Studios. So after that, they're still on our side. A brand new red Viper rental car awaiting us at the hotel. The Bates Motel. Blaine and I walked into the motel only to be greeted by Norman Bates. "Hello," he greeted us. "Who is this freaking hobo?" I asked. Norman pointed to the corner and said, "Oh, he's my mother." "He?" we both asked. Ahead of my time. "I'd rather not talk about it," he replied. "Okay, fine. I was raised by hobos." At summertime, we ate a bowl of dishwasher detergent, but we were still hungry. Blaine went up to Norman Bates and said, "Please, sir, can I have some more?" in a snobby British accent. "More?" explained Norman in a snobby British accent. "Do you see anyone else here with more?" "No," Blaine responded. "No." At that very moment, Blaine pulled out a laser gun and screamed, "I want more." Okay, Norman explained. First, Blaine said, as he held out a dress, "Put on this little pink dress." Norman put on the dress. "Now," Blaine said, "dance." "Never!" he screamed. Blaine cocked the laser gun and started shooting at Norman's feet. Norman lifted his skirt and started dancing around. Blaine went back to the table. "Did you get any more?" I asked. "Yup." The next 3 days, Blaine and I went to Orlando Studios. The days flew by, and before we knew it, it was time to leave. We got into the red Viper rental car. I had a ski mask on and said to Blaine, "Hand over your purse, woman." "Okay," said Blaine with a whimper. "Just please don't hurt me." We started to drive home. "I gotta pee," Blaine cried. "Dang it," I yelled. "I told you to go before we leave." I pulled into a gas station. Blaine got out and wobbled to the restroom. All of a sudden, I heard people screaming like they were going to die. I went to see what was the matter. It was Blaine. He had really gassed up the joint. We went back to the car, got in, and started the engine. I went in reverse and backed up right to a gasoline pump, which of course made yet another rental car blow up. After getting another rental car, we started to drive down the highway. We were greeted by the police. Blaine rolled down the window and released a stink bomb, losing the cops. Before it hit them, though, the cops took out an RPG and launched it at us. It hit us directly, and the rental car blew up. Rental car number 3. But we are still alive. We got another car and another police escort to Missouri. Once we got to the street that we were going to, I sideswiped all the cops, blowing up our last rental car, along with the police cars. "Nice sideswipe," one of the cops said. "Thanks," I replied. Then we all started running around like special eds again, yelling, "High score, high score." "Home sweet home," we both said.
Jeez. Is there a picture with it?
Yeah, I made it in Microsoft Paint.
Oh my god.
The mushroom cloud.
So you've been fucked up from the jump. This isn't just something that's been...
Apparently.
This isn't something that just developed. You've been just fucked up.
Yeah, dude.
Oh my god.
No, I was laughing my ass off reading all this stuff.
I want to
What
know...
might be the problem, Ossifer?
I want to know what the fucking teacher thought who saw this.
Yeah,
Like,
I would too.
You're just block
I want
6.
some feedback.
Like, I feel like they read it once and they're like, take
Nope.
this back. Do it again. But nothing that was in this.
But I did like it. Just not on the
They're
record.
running around like special eds.
I know. I couldn't
my
believe
God.
that.
Oh my god. What the fuck, dude? That's kind of fucked. That's really fucked.
I thought it was delightful.
Speaking of fucked, Emily showed me. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Rhett and Link or anything that they do. So, Good Mythical Morning, we love watching it. And Emily showed me an episode the other day where they were doing like messed up kids quiz answers or something.
They were looking at the funniest like 4th grade answers on a test.
Yeah, so they had their younger kids. I don't know if they're exactly 4th grade age.
They're
but
almost in the 4th grade.
yeah, Rhett and Link had their kids on the podcast,
Uh-huh.
and they were, asking them all these questions. And Link's kid, at one point, one of the questions was, if you could ask Abraham Lincoln any question, or if you could ask Abraham Lincoln any question, what would it be? And Rhett's kid goes, "What's your favorite color?" And then, they kind of discuss between them, and then they go, "All right, what?" Because Link's kid's name is Lando. They're like, "All right, Lando, what would you ask him?" And he goes, "You want to go see a play?"
Oh, no.
Rhett and Link just look at each other, and this is on camera being recorded. They look at each other, and they're like, and the kids just grin at. Oh, dude, it was so funny.
Oh my god.
Their kid, dude.
That kid's a little...
He is 8 up, and they're sitting there, and then they're like, "Oh my gosh!" And then Link's like, "That was snarky," and Rhett's like, "You might want to have a talk with Lando later." And I was like, "Damn, dude."
He had to have known.
He knew what he was
Right.
implying.
I was like,
There's
dude.
no way he just randomly thought of that.
Yeah.
Shit.
Well, the next question was like, what is it you wish your mom would stop doing? And the one kid was like, drinking. They're like, soda?
And then yeah, Red's like, you mean like soda and juice, right? And he's like, no, like beer and wine. And they're like, oh, you're just ratting your mom out. And then they ask Red's kid.
Letting your mom out?
They ask Shep, he's Red's kid. They say, what your mom didn't do? And he was like, online dating. And then they're just like, It's pretty funny, dude.
God, literally. These fucking kids, dude.
Yeah. Their podcasts are hilarious. They're pretty good.
Yeah.
They're pretty entertaining.
Dude, so I saw before I got here that fucking not only did Mac Miller die today, but the dude who created Ed, Edd n Eddy, like he died.
Yeah, she saw that too.
Huh.
That's the three, man. Burt
yeah.
Reynolds, Mac Miller, and the Ed, Edd n Eddy guy.
Wait, Burt Reynolds died?
Yeah, Burt Reynolds died yesterday.
Oh shit, I didn't know
It
that.
always happens in threes.
Damn.
You're
That's
not counting
Aretha Franklin.
She's three
She
first.
died. She.
That's been a bit, hasn't
Wow,
it? Though?
you.
Semi-recent.
No, that's something that we didn't talk about, though. The Bill Clinton
Oh
thing.
fuck,
Wait,
dude.
What Bill?
You didn't see that?
No.
With
We posted
Ariana
a bunch
Grande
of
standing up there,
videos.
and Bill's like,
Oh wait,
Yeah.
him checking.
like
out.
he's like,
check that
it's
out.
perfect, dude, because his eyes go like
Are-
it's
are we-
right on his face, and you see his eyes just, boom, like there's nothing else he
Are
could
we
possibly
really
be looking
surprised
at.
though that Bill Clinton is
Oh,
checking-
absolutely not.
No,
like-
but it's just gold how like the camera catches him
Yeah.
in the
Yeah.
act.
And like,
Like-
right before
I
she
feel
came
like
on
people-
stage, they had a picture of him, and he was just like bored out of his mind.
Oh yeah, and then
he was like,
he's got that little grin.
180.
I feel like
Yeah,
they knew.
he's
this
got
was
that little
coming.
grin,
I
man.
feel like they're just like, okay, so Bill's about to Bill's just like they probably noticed him.
Bill's
being
about to
bored.
pop a chub.
Yeah, and they're like, who's the Ariana? Oh, this is gonna be good shit. So they like put the camera right on his ass because be like, dude, this is gonna be fucking hilarious.
And dude, I don't know what to think about that preacher grabbing like her entire boob. Like that's
Yeah. I don't know, dude.
he knew it was televised.
Yeah.
Like, why? I don't understand why you would still do it.
I don't know if it was.
Unless it was purely for publicity.
I don't know if it was intentional.
Dude, he had like that much of her tit. Like a good, like, 3/4 of a grip. You know what I mean?
Guys
It was
have a
not
tendency to
3/4 of
hold
the
women
tit.
tightly when they don't even have to have an arm on.
Yeah,
versus
she's a really skinny bitch, dude.
Yeah, but I
I don't think it was
But okay,
intentional.
in the pictures though, it clearly goes from like back, like middle, side boob, and then like almost a full boob grab.
Just like,
Like,
what
I
are
feel like-
these-
just
these-
like-
I feel like once you like feel the side boob, you're kind of just like, oh wait, this might be a little far, and like retract
Yeah.
a little
Well,
bit.
bam! Oh, let's
He's
go
like-
back.
He's like,
Like
no,
this
this
line in
penetrator
the
is
back.
going. I'm going all the fucking way.
Well, did you see the video? He like twisted her nipple a little bit, and then like he
Slapped him around a little bit.
He licked his hand a little bit, and just went back took some ice, made it hard. Oh my god. No, but like in his speech before that, he's like, "Oh, I didn't really know who Ariana Grande was, and then my kids showed me because they're big fans, and when they showed me a picture of her, I was like." Oh, I didn't know they had that on the Taco Bell menu or something like
What
that.
the fuck?
Yeah.
Dude.
And so when he issued the
Oh
apology,
my god,
he apologized for that, not for the tit thing.
Are you
So I don't know if he even knew that was like an issue.
that he grabbed her tit on live television. I feel like that would. Oh my god.
Okay, I'm just saying you would know.
Yeah, like
You would, you like, even if you didn't know consciously that you were doing it, you would feel it and be like, whoa! Like, you know,
I feel like every guy
whoops.
knows when they're grabbing a tit.
Exactly.
Even if
right.
it's a man
There's no
boob.
mistaking it.
Like even
Right.
if it's a man boob.
There's a
you
difference
know
between back and tit.
Yeah, like
Yeah, she's a pretty skinny bitch though.
she
Like,
still has.
But dude, I'm telling you,
It doesn't-
even if
I
you're
don't
like
know,
if you're kind of reaching around and then you accidentally kind of like skim it with your finger,
Yeah.
there is a definite difference between like the skin on your back or your side
the
and your
skin on
boob.
their tit,
Right.
yeah. Even
There's
if
no mistaking it. I don't care what the guy says. He maybe he didn't do it intentionally,
Right.
but he went farther than he should have.
That's
Yeah.
what I'm
The
questioning,
instant
'cause,
you
like,
feel it, you know you're in that territory, and you're like, "Wow!" You know, you back off.
right.
He got there and kept going.
yeah, like
See,
And it wasn't like he was hovering, like his hand was on it, like
He'd
here,
have to be-
here,
he'd
and
have
then
to be
there.
an idiot to do that intentionally, though, on live television
Dude,
in front of everyone. That's
you
why I
never
think
know
that
what's-
wasn't intentional.
But you
'cause
never
he
know
would
with
be
some
caught
people.
100%.
Okay, but like some people will do shit like that just for the publicity.
Yeah.
It doesn't, it
That's
doesn't
not
matter.
good. That's,
I don't think
what kind of
a
publicity
preacher
does
would
this
do
cardinal
for
want? Like,
publicity.
He's
come
the
to
dude-
my church, I grab titties. Like, come on.
Oh my god.
First of all, that's gotta detract all the boys from coming to the church.
Oh my
Okay.
god.
Man, he likes girls. He don't like
fuck
boys.
that, man.
Dude, I just feel like
Man, I can't get
I
molested
feel like
here.
what happened was he kind of like it happened, and then instead of like readjusting his hand, he
Yeah.
didn't want to draw too much attention to it.
So
Exactly.
he just kept
But he-
fondling.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
He went,
He just
he
took
went
full
further.
grip.
yeah,
He
so,
took his other hand
Yeah.
and evened
I don't
it
know.
out.
I think like maybe
Shifted her in front of him and just.
They
Yeah.
placed Bill Clinton there to be a distraction while he.
Yeah, like I
was
feel like
thing.
That was another thing. We were like, what if Bill, like, before that, had odds to are that guy to see if he could get away with it?
I dare ya.
Come on, you fucking
One,
pussy.
2, 3, 7, 7. Fuck!
If I got away with Monica, you can get away with this.
God.
Bill didn't quite get away with Monica, but let's,
It was pretty good though. How like all those posts are like, I wish, whoever looked at me. I wish someone looked at me the way Bill Clinton looks at anybody but his wife.
Oh my god.
You think they've ever banged?
Don't they have kids?
Probably not for a
Oh, yeah,
long
it's-
time.
Yeah, I was about
That
to
could, that
say.
could be like a surrogate thing, though.
I mean, I feel like maybe in the beginning, but then like after a while.
I feel like definitely with like their like positions
Yeah.
Yeah.
in our society, like I'm pretty sure it's for show.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, definitely.
I know.
Like I just wonder how long it's been that
If
way.
they weren't politicians, she would have dumped his ass
I
so
feel like-
fast.
I feel like they live separate lives together or whatever, but they put on the show that they're together. Like
Yeah.
Bill probably has.
They don't put on much of a show though.
Yeah.
No, you can tell they're pretty unhappy.
You can tell that she's like, oh, this fucking jackass.
But
You know what I
they-
mean? Like,
yeah.
she
Yeah,
can't really. It looks like she can't stand to be around him.
But they
it's
don't
funny to
wanna
see.
divorce
Yeah.
or
Like it's
whatever,
hilarious.
or
But
whatever.
yeah, but how many
it'd be a good sitcom.
normal couples do that though?
Yeah.
People stay together for the kids. People stay together for blah blah blah. It's
Yeah.
it's no different for politicians, I guess.
Yeah. I just
They're staying together
Stay
for
politics.
a higher goal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like maybe Hillary's staying with it just because Bill's more liked or whatever.
Well, and that's what I'm saying.
That,
Do you think
and they
Hillary?
have the
do you
Clinton
think?
Foundation that they'd have to split up, and
Yeah.
you lose all the political allies that Bill
Right.
has.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Do you think she would be in the position she's at right now
No.
had they split up
Hell
years
no,
ago?
dude.
Right.
No.
She sucked
Exactly.
as she sucked as Secretary of State.
She'd lose so many backers and so many different people that were on her side. Like I don't
Right.
think she'd get close to where she was.
I'm not even like into like politics and shit like that, but that's just one of those things. Like
Everyone knows.
right? Yeah, you don't have to be into it to know
Yeah.
to realize stuff like that.
And she had Bill Gigolo for money for her presidential campaign.
Oh my god, baby.
Hey, girl.
Playing the sax.
I'll be your daddy.
I'll be your daddy.
I know you want me back.
I've never seen an Oval Office like that.
Oh my
Dude.
god. Oh shit.
Looks like it's ready for a new paint job.
Shit.
Oh god.
Oh boy.
So Chase, have you burned your Nikes?
I'm currently wearing.
Chase is wearing like 3 Nike things right now that I can tell.
Is this intentional, Chase? Are you trying to make a statement here?
I'm not trying to make a statement. I like Nike.
Yeah.
I don't have a problem with the campaign, and I'm not going to
Well,
be an idiot.
okay, see the thing like Emily was saying, she's like, just because you're, well, I don't remember what that. You said
Black.
that, didn't
We talking about?
Just because you're wearing their shit doesn't mean that you like.
You can
Endorse
wear
them.
Nike
You can-
and
right.
disagree with
Right.
what they believe
You don't
in.
have to like
Yeah.
People
redo
aren't-
your entire
people-
wardrobe
you?
just
Yeah,
because of
people
the
aren't
campaign.
so close-minded as to say like, Chase wears Nike. Chase says like, he agrees with everything that like. No, that's
Yeah.
not.
No.
That's
like,
not what's going on.
The thing
People
is,
aren't that stupid anymore.
The thing is,
Some are, but like you know.
People burning their shit and just not like giving
like
it away.
what is that
burning your
doing?
shoes with them on?
Burning
Right,
your
you
shoes.
paid for it. That's not
It's
not really
not-
negatively
Nike is
affecting Nike.
Nike is looking at you like you fucking dumbass.
It's not
I
taking
already
money
got
from
your
them.
money.
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
what is that gonna do? That you're burning your shit on live TV. Okay, that's fine. I got the money. Like, I don't need.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, I get it. Like, people were saying like this is gonna kill Nike. It really
No.
isn't. Like, the divide between people who like the ad and hate that ad is about even. So even if they lose the people who
Yeah,
don't
that's
like,
like 50% of their base, though.
Okay, even
not
so-
good. That's not
even
good to
so.
divide it.
no, like
Think of people in other countries.
Yeah.
Like Nike's still fucking huge. They're not going to give a fuck
They did
about
say
a
most
football
of
player
them.
in the United States of America.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like what the
Like,
fuck does that matter?
they're
so they
looking-
really think
They're
that
looking at the American market. The
Right.
American market's not gonna.
it's not going to destroy
Right.
Nike as a whole though. There's no fucking way.
I find this hilarious though that the NFL has such a gripe with Colin Kaepernick or whatever, and Nike pulls this shit, and the NFL has a contract with Nike. Like they have to wear all Nike apparel
Yeah.
for so many years because they signed that contract, and if they do anything besides that, they owe Nike so much money or whatever. So they
Shit.
pretty much forced
Probably
to wear,
based on how much time or whatever.
Yeah.
So pretty much, like, if they go against that, like Nike, I mean, the NFL is pretty much forced to like wear Nike stuff, no matter how much.
Well, I bet it's
others
so
and
much
shit
fucking money too that it would, you know.
Yeah,
I'm sure it would cause a problem, even though it's the fucking NFL.
Well, they're already hurting. Their rating and viewership has been going down a lot lately.
yeah.
I don't watch football at all, so.
No, I don't either.
Yeah.
I still watch it. I don't give a shit.
People are just pissed off that politics are coming into
Right.
football when it should.
well,
Right.
they're mad about politics coming into all facets of because
right.
because
you get tired of it. You watch football to like unwind.
That's
or,
what
like,
I'm saying, it's
movies
pretty-
or whatever.
it's
And now
pretty stupid how-
everything is political.
I think it's dumb. This is from someone purely from the outside.
yeah.
But I think it's stupid that all these athletes need to bring that into their sport, which is their job.
yeah.
Like, I don't think it's necessary to bring outside shit into it.
Yeah.
You already have enough fucking publicity. You already have enough fans. You're getting more than compensated for what you're doing.
Yeah.
Like, why do you need to draw more attention to yourself? Because I personally think that's what it is.
Uh-huh.
Because the people that... I feel like you're not going to do something like that and draw more attention to yourself unless you're unhappy with, like, the attention you're getting or the results you're getting. Even though they're living at so much of, like, a higher level than the rest of us are. You know,
Yeah.
like,
Right.
they have more than so many people in this fucking world will ever dream of having. But, like, it's still not enough because obviously they're doing things to draw more attention to themselves.
yeah. I want.
It's ridiculous.
I want to get Chase's opinion on
Alright.
this because the major campaign slogan was like, even if you have to sacrifice everything, like do what you believe in, or something along that line. Do you think Kaepernick actually sacrificed anything here, considering he was already on the downslope when he started the kneeling thing, and this kind of brought him into the popularity again, sold more jerseys, so on, and also the huge ass Nike deal.
Okay.
Is he not better off because of this?
Right.
Is he really sacrificing anything?
I mean, yes and no, because it pretty much essentially eliminated him from being a part of the, like, there's nobody in the NFL that's, like, I get it, like, the fact that, like, he's still making a living, even though, like, he did, like, do this or whatever, and he's still getting money and stuff like that, but for somebody whose entire dream was to play in the NFL and stuff like that, and become, like, one of the best quarterbacks to ever play, and to do this and do that, you know, he still sacrificed that part of his dream. To him, that might be everything. To him, like, playing in the NFL could have been his dream since he was a little kid, and now that he can't do that anymore, it's just like it might be upsetting to him. But at the same time, I also agree, like, where you guys are coming from. It's not like he's hurting financially, or it's not like he, you know, took a huge loss, because at
Right.
the time he wasn't a starting quarterback. But the
when
thing,
he started doing all the bullshit.
yeah.
Yeah, he had like
Okay.
one good season or something.
No,
and
he
then-
had several good seasons. It's just
So it's not like he was a shit player either.
he honestly could have been a starting quarterback for another team. He could have gone to somewhere else, but what happened was when his head coach resigned and a new coach came in with a whole new scheme, a whole new system and everything like
Right.
that, it was not a good fit for Colin Kaepernick.
Okay.
Because the thing about the NFL is if you play on a certain team or whatever, certain schemes will work for certain players. It won't work for other players. That specific scheme did not fit for Colin Kaepernick. So he could have gone to another team and he could have excelled. But the problem was, after he started doing the kneeling thing, his own team didn't want to really play him, and then the owners started talking and
kind of blacklisted him a little bit.
Yeah, they're like, don't sign this player.
So he kind of did it to himself, though, in a way, is what you're saying.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, in a way he did it, but he did it to himself by standing up for what he believed in, and I necessarily don't have a problem with it, just because he has a higher platform than most people.
Yeah.
So
I mean, if he's gonna make his voice heard, it's obviously gonna be noticed.
Right. That's
it's hard for me to think that he's actually, and I could be totally wrong.
Yeah.
I don't know the guy at all, but it's hard for me to sit here and look at that and be like, he's being 100% real because of his status. You know.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing.
That's the problem. That's the problem I have with it.
Did you?
I don't know.
Did you see there's this picture going around about how he wore socks during practices with cops dressed as pigs. So I don't
give a fuck about. If you're gonna be a dork, be a dork.
How many of us wear satire shirts all the time?
Right.
That
I don't give a shit about.
But if you're wanting to promote a cause that will actually help the relationship between cops and blacks, one, don't wear shit like that, and two, you see after you kneel during the national anthem that people do view that as a disrespect to the country or the troops or whatever, which he might not mean it as that, and a lot of people say that he don't. But why not just do that at the end of the game instead, when it's not controversial whatsoever? If your real goal is to promote the unity between these two factions.
I totally understand that. That makes a lot of sense, because I feel like if you're doing it any other way, I guess the point I'm trying to get at is, if he were sincere about it, he would do it in a way that's not gonna fire people up.
Right.
You know what I mean?
That's
not necessary.
It causes more divide.
He's doing it that way, I feel like, because he knows what it's gonna cause.
More publicity.
Right. So that kind of... And like I said, I don't know. None of the three of us know the real reason behind it. But that's why I feel like it's so hard for some people to...
get behind it.
Yeah, because we see it from a totally different light.
Yeah,
and like you're saying, it couldn't be for that reason. It could be for something that obviously, he doesn't tell everybody, because maybe he doesn't fucking need to. We don't need to know, but at the same time, I don't know.
So the reason that he said, because the national anthem is supposed to stand for, something about, it's supposed to stand for how the country,
pride in the country,
pride in the country and stuff like that.
And he says that he can't support a country whose cops do that to blacks or whatever.
Not even necessarily that. He just said I can't civil unrest is happening between two major factions in the world. So he actually went to, like I said before, the way he got, when originally he was just sitting down for it. He wasn't doing anything. He was just sitting down or whatever. And then a person of the military actually contacted him and said, that really upsets me more, because that's a big sign of disrespect for sitting down.
Right.
So he's like, I'm not trying to intentionally say I don't like the country, this, that, the other, but he's like, there's just parts of the thing that I don't understand and I can't agree with. So he asked the guy, the person in the military, what is something that I can do that's not that's not disrespectful, but also shows that there's still something that's on my mind. So he said, kneel. So that's my thing, is a lot of people don't know that facet of it. And on top of that, even though he doesn't, people were saying he doesn't really back up what he does, he still, he puts money towards, different organizations that are trying to help the youth and trying to help, build relations between the youth, young black youth, and police officers. He's offered his own money to do stuff like that. So he's one of the people who does back up what he says. So that's why I can kind of respect his cause, in a sense that he has a message that he wants to get across. He had the platform. He put his message out there, and then he started actively doing stuff rather than just putting the message out there
And being
then,
a shithead about it.
not doing anything about it. So that's why I can respect what he's doing, and I don't see a big
Yeah, I mean, I respect the fact that he's donating these places or whatever, but I think he should focus on that.
Yeah,
like,
maybe he...
Why not like hold up
Okay,
a sign or something like during instead of kneeling, like say,
okay, but
you know,
like,
help donate to this thing.
And
I
real
feel
quick
like
though,
that'd
like
help
with
out a lot more.
him with his position, I mean, that's one of the things that I feel like people in that position with fame or with talent have to, like, if you want to be taken seriously, you have to take that into account. You can't do things like that like other people can.
Yeah.
Because it's going to cause problems like this.
Yeah.
Is
Right.
this a
You know-
message he could have gotten out instead of at a football game at his job? This is something he could have gotten out in a different way.
Exactly.
Really.
By donating money and only donating money to those things.
Speaking
Maybe
outside the
privately,
game on
right?
the news or
Maybe
something.
privately, you know, saying what he thinks, blah blah
Right.
blah.
Or
But
during
don't
like an
don't-
interview or something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
don't
You
don't
can
make a
still-
scene of something to make a point. You know what I mean?
Right.
How what's that gonna do?
I think
How's that gonna fix it?
I think the reason he started that is because he wanted. Like I get like this is where I'm starting to understand your guys' side of the perspective. He wanted a bigger viewing on it because like people do a lot
But
of stuff.
he has the ability to reach a bigger viewing without doing it.
Yeah, but a
on
lot
a
of stuff
nationally
like, a lot of
televised
stuff like
football
that.
And doing it in a divisive fashion.
Right.
That's
But,
the big thing.
but a lot of stuff like that usually will go unnoticed and like it won't draw attention to the conversation. It won't bring up the conversation.
So basically, we're saying that he may be trying to do the right thing, but he's doing it the complete wrong way.
Yeah, like
It's
pretty
just hard
much
because it's his
it's-
job. You're supposed
Right,
to.
like that's
Like,
what I'm.
that's
That's what I'm
true.
saying.
If you
It's
did that at like a job at McDonald's or something, you like took a knee and stuff.
they'd be get the fuck out of here.
Get the fuck
That's
out.
what I'm saying. It's an. I won't say it's an abuse of his position, but like
Uh-huh.
it kind of is.
Yeah.
You know, because he's a
But
fucking.
that's
he's a
exactly the reason he does
fucking
it. though, because
football player. Can you tell?
That's exactly the reason he does it though, because like you said, a person at McDonald's, it wouldn't matter because they don't really have that platform. They don't have that high of a viewing, or their message wouldn't get. If I took a knee at my job and started saying this stuff or whatever, and I get fired, nobody's.
I don't
gonna
think
do
we
that.
should have bumpy cones. We should have swirly cones.
Yeah, something like that. Like the
Bumpy
message
comes racist.
What ends up happening is I get fired, no attention is drawn to it, nothing happens.
Right.
Like,
Yeah, the big difference too though, is Kaepernick gets paid like 100,000 times more than someone
I
is
understand he
getting
could have,
paid.
done it in an interview, and that'll still cause a big storm. But
I
then
ju- yeah,
you
I
do
just
your
think
job
with-
and finish what you do.
Given his status, I feel like he should use more discretion
yeah.
and not do things the way he's doing them. Because look at all the shit that's coming out of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it
He could've-
caused way more division.
Exactly.
Anything
Right.
else.
More
I
division
think.
than.
But nobody
And-
had like the direct blueprint on how to do this the right way.
Right,
Like,
right.
But once you
So-
start seeing the backlash and seeing how much it divides people, like adapt instead of buckling down and doing the same thing over and over again. That's
Yeah,
like the
but not
definition of insanity.
Not everybody's wired that way though. Like,
Well, he has taken quite a few hits to that.
like it's not. Yeah, it's like one of those things. It's like there's. Everybody knows one of those stubborn people that no matter what happens, they're gonna stick to the way they do things. Like
Okay,
even if-
what about the other black leaders of the community though? Like, why doesn't Obama like intervene and be like, hey, it might be more effective to do it in this fashion?
I think the president position's a little bit different. Than
Yeah, like I don't think the president should have gotten involved with that.
Why not?
because-
He's butting in politics right now. He's not even president.
But at that
He
point,
should be a leader
at
in the
that
black
point-
community.
This is
In
in a
that
more
point, in,
professional manner.
yeah, in that point in time, whenever it was first happening, like it was mainly strictly focused on as a sports issue, and they were handling it as a sports issue.
Well, it's a social
Yeah.
issue that he's
Yeah.
bringing up.
Yeah, but,
it has
like-
nothing to do with
Obama can't
Yeah.
make his own personal opinion.
Separation
Like, this is
between
what
church
y'all
and
should
state.
do. It's
Yeah,
gotta
it's
be
not-
He does all the time.
It's not.
Not like this, though.
Yeah, it's not his place to tell him you. And plus, as like it's his right to have the right to protest. It's his right to.
Right, I'm just saying, like, he steers him in the right direction, not be like, hey, stop this, or I'll kick your ass off the field with the
Okay,
military.
and I agree. It's anyone's right to protest and do stuff like that. But
Is it
again,
effective?
again, I
We're
think
talking about it.
you can't.
Yeah, but is it
can't hold him
effective
to
in
the-
his goal of causing unity between races and police and blacks? I don't think so.
I think he needs
I don't
to.
think
He
there's
needs.
ever going to be a unity between races, police.
But
and
is
blacks.
his movement helping it? Do you think?
It's helping some situations.
But is it overall making things better?
It's gonna be
I
hard
don't
to-
think so.
Is it okay? No matter what goal you have, anytime you want to make it overall effective, that's never gonna happen. Like, there's always gonna be.
You can have a net positive outcome or a net negative outcome.
Okay, I'll
Oh, shit. Sorry.
That's all right.
I didn't know.
It's the FBI.
That's
They
my
know we're
dog.
talking about Kaepernick.
All I'm saying is,
Okay,
There's
by
always gonna
that
be
by that
opposition.
logic though,
There's
look
always gonna be
at
opposition.
by that logic though, look at how many people died for slavery to be, you know, not
Right.
a public
There are a lot of
thing.
negatives that happen there, but it's an overall positive.
depends on how you look at it, because there's still
Black people being freed. I think that's way
a
more positive
overall-
than
that's
what
a
we were at
overall positive,
before.
but there's still a lot of systematic slavery.
I think with time things will get better because millennials have a completely different mindset than savage.
like it's just like
Millennials don't look at the stats though. They just fucking they just use their emotions, and they assume that there's systemic racism at every fucking thing that happens to a black person. It doesn't necessarily happen because that person's black. Like, remember that story?
We'll
cou-
never
cou-
ever get
couple
rid of
months
that
ago.
mindset. We'll never get rid of that mindset, though. That's the
there's-
thing.
But
yeah,
that
there's
It's
story,
never gonna go away.
yeah,
It
there's
sucks,
never
but
gonna be there's never gonna be a
that's the frustrating thing is that there's always gonna be people that think like that. You could
Right, but-
you could beat them to death and they would still, you
look
know, their
at it
mind
from
wouldn't
a,
change.
Look at it from a perspective of like 100 years ago. Like, even like the population of the KKK, their fucking turnouts would be massive during the civil rights movement. And then during Charlottesville, they had 300 people. That's nothing. They're definitely, lesser than they were before. But what I
are
was
they
saying was,
lesser or are they more discreet?
no, they're definitely lesser, or else they would come out. You think they're less hateful now?
No, but they also know the implications of coming out like in a way like that, because especially in today's society, if you come out with like any form of
It's a lot more looked down upon. You can't do the things now that they would have done back then.
The minute you do it, somebody's gonna find out about it. They're gonna put you on Facebook or whatever, and then that's the end of your livelihood. I've seen somebody, they pretty much destroyed their entire business and their entire way of life because of something like that.
Yeah.
So, of course, somebody who may think terribly about black people, they're not gonna completely come out and say all this stuff out in public or
Right,
completely show
right.
complete
Yeah.
support.
Fair enough, but do you truly think that we are at the equal sum that we were at 100 years ago as far as people feeling towards black people?
I
think
personally
we
don't.
definitely
I don't think
improved.
I don't think
Quite
it's
a
the
bit.
same, but I do still think.
I mean, I'm gonna agree with you. I don't. Just because we don't see it or hear about it does not mean that it's not there. But
I agree.
I'm also saying what I agree with Zach in the fact that I don't think it's nearly as prominent now. You don't, you don't see. I mean, I don't know what exactly to use because obviously we weren't alive then. But you don't see the same shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's definitely if you see someone say like, "Get to the fucking back of the bus," they're gonna be like, "Fuck you!" No, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like it's
you don't
not gonna happen.
You don't see regular
It's not gonna-
lynchings.
Right, but like I mean, I'm going to the extreme on an example like that because that shit doesn't happen anyways.
Yeah.
Right.
But like that shit's not gonna happen anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But again, I mean, there's definitely people like I know people that it doesn't matter if it's just white or black. It's anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just I think it's kind of crazy because like back in the day, it was very prominent with every race, but more well known with whites and blacks. Now I think it's just kind of mellowed out as a whole because it's not socially acceptable to be like that anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's still
But
there. It's
people
always
still
gonna
act
be there.
like there has been no improvement whatsoever, and like
Now
there's
that
still
does-
all this systemic racism.
That does burn me up a little bit, but again,
Oh,
like
yeah,
I'm
that
not
does.
part of.
That Like, I don't think every little thing that happens is because
You
of
don't,
racism.
but there are people that do think like that,
Right.
And
Like-
those are the people, unfortunately, who get heard and who get their word out there one way or another.
Yeah.
And that's the kind of people that just blow this shit up and cause problems, and
It's
that's
not
why it's never
constructive.
going to go away because people like that are never going to stop doing that. Be they white, be they black, be they Asian, Mexican, whatever, what the fuck ever,
Yeah.
There's always that person that's like,
Like,
the fucking man's pushing me down because I'm not white.
Yeah.
You'll
always
go to another part of the country.
There's-
If I tried to go live somewhere like Mexico, I'd fuck you can if you're. I'm just saying, if you're white or you're black, if you're not Mexican, you're not gonna fucking make it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's different wherever you go. It's just that's how it is.
Yeah, and people always blame someone else for their misfortune, or like think
Right.
that it's not their fault for the position that they're in.
It's the Yelnats family curse.
Oh my
Right.
god.
Jeez.
Fuck.
Comic relief.
No, but what I was gonna mention before was that one case like several months ago where it was like that white dude in the hotel who like he was like the policeman had him crawling towards him on the ground and the policeman still shot him to death. You remember that? He was like crawling and then he like reached.
I don't think I heard about
he
this
reached.
either.
He reached for his back to pull up his pants because they were falling down, and the guy thought he was reaching for something and shot him. It was just some guy. He was there with his family, and he had some to drink, and I don't know what prompted the original thing, but the guy had him go on the floor and crawl to him, and he shot him. I was just like, wow. Imagine what would have happened if this dude was black. Like, it definitely wasn't a race thing that this guy was shot.
That's
right?
that's a big thing too, is because a lot of times in those situations, people and I know people want to leave race out of it, but the first thing people are going to look to is race.
Yeah.
They're not going to look. They're not going to stop and think about cops are trained shoot to kill. Like if you think someone's making an attempt on your life, you're not just going to shoot them in the foot and injure. You know what I mean? Because
I mean,
that could mean your life. And not to say their life is above somebody else's, but that is their job.
Yeah.
That if it comes down to that, they're the one. I mean, I don't know. Some people shouldn't have that power, but unfortunately, there's no way you can get in everybody's head and be able to weed out the ones you should and should not.
Right.
But you're getting into some Judge Dredd shit, and that's not even fucking real. But like, seriously though, that's not. You can't. It's terrible because you'll never know what goes through people's minds. You'll never get down to the real reason, and it's because everybody wants to interpret things for their, for their own, and everybody wants to be right, and no one's ever going to agree on it. I don't know how we're ever going to get past that, honestly. Like, I hate to sound like discouraging,
there's always going to be this or that.
Exactly.
You're going to be on one side or the other.
Yeah.
That's
Right.
how it's always going to be.
And I really think by, like, maybe over time it will, I say graduate because I can't think of another word, but maybe it will graduate from a race issue to something else.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's always going to be there. It's just going to present itself in different ways.
There's always going to be opposition from one side to another. Like, whether it's, like, politically, economically, racially, whatever it's going to be, it's always going to be some kind of opposition. I mean, hell, you see it in everything. It's like Coke or Pepsi, Xbox or PlayStation, Democrat, Republican. Like, everything you look at it, it's always this or that.
Normal or brownie.
There's always some kind of common ground, but everybody's always gonna be more towards fucking either you got to choose a side. There's never like a whole bunch of people saying like you can be in the middle.
People can't.
Fine.
You
Like,
can't
hell,
be neutral on something. God forbid.
Yeah, like hell, I play PlayStation and Xbox. I have both of them. I have a Nintendo. Well, not a Switch yet. I want one, but I'm working on it.
Get it.
I have a Wii U, but I'm getting the Switch soon. It's just like I don't know why like over time it's always been like that. You have to be this or you have to be that, or you have to choose this or you have to choose that.
You're either with me or against me.
Yeah, exactly. So like until we can like evolve from that kind of mindset that you have to be either this or that, it's always going to be opposition no matter what way you look at it. No matter what.
You think we'll ever not be like that though?
I don't think so. Like, because I always think there's always going to be the clashing of opinions, no matter what.
Yeah, I think it'll definitely get better. It'll never eradicated completely, obviously.
And I mean, that's going back to what you were saying earlier. Things over time will mitigate, but it's not ever going to be completely gone.
Yeah. No.
I'm kind of curious to see, like, in what way it'll kind of go away. Like, I'm curious to see what other things will take, I guess, more importance. You know what I mean? But I really think that'll be, like, a time thing. Yeah.
I'm
different eras. It's different things.
I'm pessimistic in saying that I don't think we'll see it in our lifetime. To where
I think it will.
I don't.
I think there'll be
we'll see
rapid
some changes. We'll see some changes, but it's not going to be drastic.
No. Just think about, like, since we were born, the state of, like, say, like, homosexuals. How much has that improved?
Yeah, that's true.
Quite a bit. The social reform has
people didn't talk about it when we were kids,
quickly.
but now you can't you can't call someone who thinks they're both one or the other.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't know.
I think
that-
I know we don't need to open another can of worms, but that fucking makes me rage. Like, if you want to identify as something, you can't hold it against somebody else for not automatically knowing what Chase. If Chase thinks he's like what are the other like prefixes or whatever, like Zer or whatever?
Zer.
What the fuck does that even mean? Does that mean you're a guy and a girl? Does that mean you're like
non-defining?
Okay,
non-binary.
How am I supposed to know? I've never met Chase in my life. How am I
Right.
supposed to walk up to him and fucking know what unless he's wearing it on his goddamn forehead?
What the
How am I supposed to know?
Are we gonna have them have like armbands like the Nazis? The Nazis
You have to
put
classify
on
yourself.
shoes.
Let's give them all tattoos on their
God.
forearms to
I mean,
say what they
that's-
want to be.
That's
They'll
what
have
a
to
lot-
change every other week when they change
That's
their
what,
name.
that's what a lot of stuff.
Put an X on it.
Because I'll give you an example. There was one time like somebody sneezed like in a restaurant or something like that, and I was like, bless you or whatever, and they're like, I'm atheist. I'm like, how the fuck am I supposed to know that?
Sorry, bro.
Like, was it Amanda?
No, like really, like that.
Yeah.
Honestly,
that pisses me
it's
off.
ridiculous
You're just
how
polite
back in
to
the
them.
day you could just be like, sorry, man. Okay.
Yeah.
That's not how it is anymore.
That's another thing. Think
People
about
get
how,
so, and I hate to say like people get so butthurt, but that's what it is.
Yeah.
You know,
Like I think like
people
okay,
want so badly to be different, and it's
There's-
like you just
they
can't
love
handle.
being contrarian.
It's right, and it's a different. It's definitely a
They
new
love being
generation
snowflakes.
thing.
it's
But
one
it's
of
a new
those
generation
things, It's
thing.
one of those things. It's just like you might like lose sight on one thing, but something else is just gonna rise up and take its place.
Right.
Yeah.
That's all it is. You know.
Like it's like once you get bored about talking about something, you're just gonna find something else to fucking replace it.
Right.
And, like,
Find something else to
Yeah.
bitch about.
Yeah, find something else to argue about. And something.
Now that right to work is done, people are gonna bitch about other stuff.
Yeah.
I just use that as an
Mr.
example.
Oakley.
Dude,
He is incessant, dude.
Dude,
I'm
my dad-
almost unfriended him.
my dad always, he is such a bitch. Like, he just
He
bitches
is.
all the time. It's so funny listening to my dad rant. I fucking love it, dude. But he really does. He just pisses and moans all the time.
That's how
I never get what I want, but I still get everything I want.
typical Democrats, am I right?
Oh, boy.
a lot of them. You're way
Herbie never had abs like these.
No, you're not like the
It's
typical
my-
Democrat, Chase. You're way more accepting of
I'm a
other
different
ideologies.
Here. Chase.
Yeah.
Nick Saw has you.
Oh my god.
No, I'm just kidding.